Hey, welcome to the next video in the shares series, and it's about inflation. And I'm saying inflation, what's that? What do you think of? Pumping up tyres, inflating your tyres? You've got to do that for safety and also so the vehicle's running economically. But I think we're talking about an economic inflation here, not something to do with tyres. So let's come down and have a look from Hayes and Harris, the definition of inflation. Inflation is the general increase in the price of goods and services over time. So things go up. Now, inflation reduces your purchasing power of your money. The fixed amount of money will buy less goods and over time. So what's your real rate of return? When you've got more money, what do you compare it with? What you started with, which in your new time, 2 years later, will actually purchase less? Or do you have to look at the percentage increase of the future value? In other words, compare it with the money and what it's worth or what it will buy in that later time. Excuse me. So let's go down and try and do a problem there with this. Just come up a bit. So here, let's take somebody buying shares, and Madge here is buying shares at $2.50 each. And she's selling them 2 years later for $3, brokerage fee of $20, and of course you've got GST, and this is the problem here, inflation of 3% per year. Let's look at the total cost of buying the shares. So it's 500 by 250, flat fee of 20, and 10% of 20 is GST, is the total cost, is that. So there's our total cost down here that we've got, and then let's have a look at, we'll skip this step here for the minute and we'll go to selling the shares now. So she's selling them at 500 lots of 3, charges as usual, got to take them off, so she's going to get this amount. Now, did she really have the advantage over 2 years of taking this amount of money to this? That looks like a good increase. But hang on, we've got to take the account of the fact that this amount here, 2 years later, won't buy the same number of goods. What effectively should it have done in that time? And this is the future value of this money. In the future, it should have come to this amount to buy the same number of goods. So effectively, in terms of purchasing power, that's what's happened. $13.49 what it would have been, increasing at 3%, and then that has grown to this. So we're taking account that some of the growth will be just keeping up with inflation, if you like. So this amount of money here in 2 years' time to buy the same goods had to really be this amount of money. So our effective increase, if you like, is that second figure up to our overall return there. Now, what is that effective increase as a percentage? Right, so if we go to the calculator, we've got 2 years, we don't know what that is, so we'll put that in after future value. We're going to use the indexed version, indexed value, looking at what the money had to be in 2 years' time to have the same purchasing power. No payment, future value went to that, and it's one per year, one calculation per year, because we overall want an annual rate. And if you do, you find it's 4.65%. So the idea here is to allow for, and this is called indexation, allow for inflation. Okay, the fact that goods have gone up, and to have the same effective buying power, the money must have come to this figure, the future effective future value. All right, can you do that, do you think? Some interesting concepts there, and something you should talk to your teacher and classmates about. So here's 4G. As usual, I want you to pause the presentation, do a problem, toggle it forward, look at the answer, and keep going. Don't do them all at once, you might be doing them incorrectly. So make sure on each one. So I'll show you the last one now, and then I'm going to show you the answers, and you can toggle forward and back to check that. So that's all for me for now. There is one more shares video in this series So I look forward to seeing you then. Cheers for now.